Good morning, freshmen. I'm excited that today we're going to be able to talk about fractions a little bit more. Today we're going to create equivalent fractions. That word equivalent just means two things that have the same value, or equal. Let's get started. In order to create an equivalent fraction, there's one very important thing that we need to know. Whenever I have a fraction that has the same numerator and denominator, so 2 out of 2, 3 out of 3, 4 out of 4, or 5 out of 5, 6 out of 6, 7 out of 7. Anytime I have all of my pieces, that's equal to one whole, because there will be no pieces missing. That's important because when I multiply by 1, I don't change the value of a number. Keep that in mind. Let's look at some equivalent. Remember, equivalent fractions mean fractions that have the same value. Let's say that I had half of a pizza. If I took that half of a pizza and I cut the remaining pieces that I had left in two, what fraction of the pizza do I have now? Well, now there are 1, 2, 3, 4 total pieces, and I have two of them, 2/4. But did I change the amount of pizza that I had? No, I didn't change the amount of pizza that I had. I still have half of a pizza. It's just cut into more pieces now. What if I took that half and I chopped it up to split it between 3 people? What fraction of the pizza do I have now? Well, I've got 1, 2, 3 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. But I still didn't change the amount of pizza that I had. I just cut it up into a different amount of pieces. These fractions are all equivalent. They all have the same value. 1/2 is the same fraction as 2/4, and 1/2 is the same fraction as 3/6. How could I show that using math? Well, I know that when I had 1/2 in the first example, I cut the remaining piece into 2 pieces. When I did that, I split my 1 into 2 pieces, and I split the two pieces that it was out of into 2 times as many pieces. So I multiplied by the fraction 2 over 2. That's important because we learned in the first start of this video that 2 over 2 is the same as 1. So when I multiply by a fraction that has the same numerator and denominator, I multiply by 1, and a number times 1 does not change the value. 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4. I did almost the same thing when I changed 1/2 into 3/6. I cut the 2 pieces of the whole that I had total into 3 times as many pieces to get 6, and I cut the 1 piece that I had into 3 times as many pieces to get 3. I multiplied by 3 over 3, which again is equivalent to 1. So I can create an equivalent fraction by multiplying by a fraction equal to 1, or by multiplying by the same number in the numerator and denominator. Let's look at another example. 3/5. What are some equivalent fractions to 3/5? Well, what if I cut it into 4 times as many pieces? I still have not changed the value of my fraction because I haven't changed the amount of the whole that I have. But I cut it into 4 times as many pieces. So I multiplied 5 times 4, and I now have 20 pieces. And out of those 20, I have 3 times 4. I have 12 pieces. I multiplied by a fraction equivalent to 1, or the same number on the top and bottom. What if I wanted to cut it into 5 times as many pieces? I still have an equivalent fraction because I haven't changed the amount of the whole that I have. But I now have 5 times as many pieces. and 5 times as many pieces that I have. I have 15 out of 25. So 3/5 is equal to 15 over 25. Again, I multiplied by a fraction equal to 1 for this to happen.